Chapter 16. Shadows of the saved bitter root's muddy streets pulsed under the feverish glow of dusk, its lamps casting jagged shadows across merchants, haggling over glowing sap, and mercenaries sharpening blades for jungle runs. Dylan cradled Arla, the 8-year-old, trembling in his arms, her small breaths a fragile anchor against the weight of his choices. The glow of Lake Ashenvyre's cursed waters faded behind, but the Redfang compound's stench, sweat, fear, and Starshatter's cloying sweetness clung to his skin. His starry scars burned faintly beneath his linen tunic, as if Calith or Vaughn judged the blood on his hands. Mayor Gavyn Torm's lifeless face, pierced by Dylan's dagger, haunted him, the kill shattering his vow to never slay unless forced. The crippling doubt whispered he'd fail, but a new weight, corrosive guilt, gnawed deeper, an acid in his gut for the 40 children left caged, their glassy eyes accusing him of abandoning them. Veyr, Zariel, and Lyss waited in the town's shadows, and Dylan's path to them was a gauntlet of guards and secrets. The absorption of Torm's essence had struck like a storm when the mayor's blood sprayed, his scars flaring with a pulse of molten lead and honey. Charismatic persuasion flooded his mind, his tongue nimble, thoughts sharp with ways to sway hearts, words that could bend men like reeds. But with it came corrosive guilt, a sickening claw at his soul, replaying the caged children's faces, Arla's terror, and his failure to save them all. The guilt burned hotter than the doubt, whispering he was no better than Torm, a man who'd traded lives for power. Dylan shoved it down, Arla's weight grounding him as he neared Bitterroot's heart, the Bitter Thorn Tavern's greasy lamplight a beacon. A patrol of 3 town guards loomed ahead, their chainmail glinting under torchlight, swords sheathed but hands ready. Their eyes locked on Dylan, a blood-streaked stranger with a child, and one stepped forward, grizzled, with a scarred lip. "Halt!" he barked, hand on hilt. "Who's this? Why's the girl with you bloodied up?" Dylan's heart slammed, the corrosive guilt flaring. Arla's bruises, his failure to free the others, made him feel like a fraud. But Veyr's blade's patience steadied him, and Torm's charisma surged, his voice finding a smooth, urgent cadence. "She's my niece," he lied, eyes meeting the guards, tone laced with feigned panic. "Bandits hit us near the river. Redfang scum. I barely got her out. Please, she needs a healer, and my sister's waiting at the Thorn. Let us pass. I beg you." The guard's eyes narrowed, but Dylan's words wove a spell, his desperation disarming. The others hesitated, hands easing from swords. "Bandits, eh?" the grizzled man muttered, glancing at Arla's pale face. "Redfang's been bold. You look half dead. Get to the Thorn, but we're watching." He waved them through, suspicion dulled by Dylan's charm. Dylan nodded, heart pounding, and hurried past, Arla's weight anchoring him. The corrosive guilt surged, a bitter taste in his throat. He'd lied to save her, but the faces of the caged children, 6, 10, 12, flashed, their Starshatter-dulled eyes asking why he'd left them. Was he any different from Torm, picking who to save? The guilt clawed, slowing his steps, but he pushed on, the tavern's glow closer. The Bitter Thorn's din spilled into the street, drunken shouts, a lute's wail, tankards clinking. Dylan slipped into an alley, beside it where Veyr, Zariel, and Lyss waited, shadows among shadows. Veyr leaned against the wall, leathers streaked with jungle grime, twin swords sheathed but poised, grey eyes narrowing at Dylan's approach. Zariel stood, alert, bow in hand, moss-green cloak blending with the dark, luminous eyes catching Arla's form. Lyss, propped against a crate, hobbled on unsteady legs, bruised arms trembling, eyes clearing from Starshatter's haze, but wide with hope as she saw Arla. "You made it!" Veyr growled, voice rough but grudgingly respectful. "Fool's luck, boy!
Who's the kid?"
Dylan set Arla down gently, her hand clinging to his. "Arla," he said, voice raw, meeting Lyss's gaze. "Lyss's friend. I found her, but it cost." He swallowed, the corrosive guilt of Vey's on his chest, Torm's death burning in his mind. "The man hurting her, he was Gavyn Torm, Bitter Roots Mayor. I killed him, broke my vow. He was with her, doing things I can't unsee." His voice cracked, Arla's terror, the mayor's pleading eyes searing him. "I had no choice." Lyss's eyes welled, reaching for Arla, the girls embracing, a flicker of light in Eryndor's gloom. "Thank you," she whispered, voice frail but fierce.
"You saved her?"
Veyr's eyes narrowed, studying Dylan's blood-streaked hands, the dagger at his hip. "Torm, huh? You've kicked a hornet's nest, boy. Mayor's allies, Redfang, maybe Alther's men. Won't let that slide. Vows bend in places like that, but you're marked now." Zariel's tone was heavy, soft. "Torm's death will stir chaos. The compound's guards won't stay quiet. You risked much, Dylan, for one life." Dylan's scars flared, heat pulsing, Torm's charisma stirring despite the guilt. "I got something from him," he admitted, voice low. "His way with words, it's in me. Talked past guards to get here, lied smooth as silk. But his guilt, it's eating me. Those kids we left, Lyss, Arla, they're safe, but the others—" He trailed off, the corrosive guilt roaring, caged children's faces haunting him, their eyes asking why he'd chosen only two. Lyss's hand touched his arm, voice firm. "You saved us. That's more than anyone else did. Don't let the rest break you." Zariel's eyes softened, elf senses catching Dylan's torment. "The Bloodwild tests all oaths. Your scars bind you to what you take, but they mark your strength. Calith's touch, perhaps, or Vaughn's shadow." Veyr grunted, pushing off the wall, leathers creaking, enough soul-searching, bitter roots about to boil. Torm's blood, Redfang's wrath, we move. Zorath's your goal, boy, and Lyss and Arla needs safety. North, skirt the blood veil, find a hideout till the heat dies. Dylan nodded, the corrosive guilt a constant ache, but Lyss and Arla's presence anchored him. Torm's charisma hummed, a tool for the storm ahead, but the guilt warned of its price. Every lie risked tainting him like the mayor. The doubt whispered failure, but Veyr's training, Zariel's wisdom, and the girl's trust gave him a spark. The Bloodwild's crimson glow pulsed beyond the alley, its jungle heart indifferent, but Dylan gripped his dagger, ready for the jaws in the dark. A shout echoed from the square. Guards, maybe Redfang's men, sniffing Torm's blood. Veyr's sword slid free, voice a growl. "Move, now! Blade's patience, boy! See the moment! Act clean, we're not done!" Dylan lifted Arla, Lyss hobbling beside, and followed Veyr and Zariel into the night, the bitter thorn's haze fading. The corrosive guilt burned, a scar as real as those on his skin, but Dylan's resolve held, a vow to fight for those he could save in a world demanding blood.